Hi, my name is Hardik, and last time we spoke about the fact that we are going to share with you how should you go about planning for your year and set targets. Um, before I tell you how do you go about that, I guess it's important to understand this. That's the starting point. It is important to understand where your business is today. Without understanding that, you would not be able to figure out कि टारगेट सेटिंग और प्लानिंग किस चीज़ पे करना है, कौन से सब्जेक्ट पे. सो लेट मी शेयर दैट विथ यू फर्स्ट, and then we will follow it up with how do you actually go about doing it. So I see business as an amalgamation of two things. Number one is strategy, which means how is your business placed in the market that you're operating. Uh, to give you some examples, are you a company whose strategy is to sell the products at an absolutely affordable price? मतलब आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी है कि कम से कम प्राइस वाला प्रोडक्ट अगर लेना है तो आपकी कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट लेना है. क्या आपका स्ट्रैटेजी ये है कि यू आर सेलिंग प्रोडक्ट्स विच आर ऑफ एक्सट्रीमली हाई क्वालिटी, यानी मार्केट में अगर किसी को एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट क्वालिटी चाहिए तो वो आपकी कंपनी से लेंगे. क्या आपका स्ट्रैटेजी कुछ ऐसा है कि यू आर गोइंग टू बी द फास्टेस्ट प्रोवाइडर, विच मीन्स योर स्ट्रैटेजी इज दैट यू आर गोइंग टू बी द क्विकेस्ट प्रोवाइडर, देन अगर जल्द से जल्द चाहिए देन दे नीड टू कॉन्टैक्ट यू. What is your strategy? How are you placing yourself in the marketplace? The second portion that the business is made up of is operations, which actually supports the strategies execution. यानी strategy बना लिया पर अब उसको execute करना है. तो execute करने के लिए आपका operations जो है वो कैसा है. अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि you want to be the fastest provider, then do you have enough logistics partner and a brilliant flawless logistics process to make sure that order सबसे fast पहुँचे. इफ़ यू वांट टू प्ले इट ऑन प्राइस, अगर आपको सबसे कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव सोल्यूशन आप प्रोडक्ट्स दे रहे हो, सॉल्यूशंस दे रहे हो, देन यू नीड टू बी एबल टू हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग स्पेंड मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम जो आपके स्पेंड्स को, एक्सपेंडिचर्स को कंट्रोल कर रहा है. यू नीड टू हैव योर परचेसेस एट मिनिमम जो आपके कॉस्ट को कंट्रोल कर रहा है, विच इज़ योर ऑपरेशंस. सो गिवन दैट द कंपनी इज मेड अप ऑफ दीज टू थिंग्स, आइडियली आपका कंपनी, मैं जो अभी बोलने वाला हूँ, ये चार में से किसी एक बॉक्स में, बकेट में फिट होता है. एंड यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट बिफोर यू स्टार्ट एक्चुअली प्लानिंग फॉर द ईयर. So let me share those buckets with you. The number one bucket, it's in no real sequence, but I'm just going to make one sequence up for you to understand. The number one bucket could be strong strategy, weak operations. यानी आपका strategy बहुत strong है and you know that it's going to work in the market, but उसको execute करने का जो operations है, it is very weak. अगर ये situation है, then in that case you won't be able to sustain your strategy. तो ultimately आपका strategy on papers will be very good, but on execution level it will not be great. So you should be setting targets on two things: your process efficiency and your process productivity, जिससे कि आपका operation सुधरेगा. Efficiency यानी productivity यानी कितना produce कर रहे हो आप volume में, and efficiency means जितना भी आप प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो वो प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए कितना वक्त ले रहे हो, कितना कॉस्ट ले रहे हो, कितना लेबर ले रहे हो, हाउ मच कैन यू डू विथ हाउ लेस इज एफिशिएंसी. So you have the targets on that. If your business is in the first bucket, which is strong strategy, weak operations, let's look at the second bucket. The second bucket is where you have a weak strategy and you have a strong operations. वो केस में आप क्या करोगे? When you have a weak strategy and a strong operations, you know कि आपका processes बहुत strong है, but your strategy you're not sure where you're going. In that case, you need to go back to your market, start understanding what your market is saying, and come back on the drawing board and say, okay, we are going to compete on price, speed, what are we going to compete on? And then go about executing that with your strong operational ability. तो अगर ये करना है, then you may want to have targets on how your customer satisfaction looks like, because अगर customer satisfaction आप measure करोगे तभी आपको पता चलेगा what is your customer looking at. अगर आप customer के साथ engage करोगे तब आपको समझ पड़ेगा what is the market really wanting. So you may want to have targets around that, and you may want to have your yearly plan around that, to correct your strategy and from weak make it strong, because you already have a strong operations. The third area, which is a very beautiful area to be in, which is strong operations and strong strategy. यानी आपका strategy is brilliant, it is apt for that market, and your operations is also brilliantly designed. यानी आपके processes इतने beautiful हैं कि आप वो strategy को एकदम flawlessly execute भी कर सकते हो. अगर ये situation है, then it's a golden period. Like I said, it's time for you to make the next big move. So again, you may want to get in touch with your customers, have targets there, and understand what is the next thing that they can afford, because now you are talking about having a competitive advantage, and which is a significant difference, जो बहुत ही अलग होगा आपके competition से. So you may want to have the next move planned. So therefore again you would go into figuring out and talking to your customers and figuring out what's the next thing. So you may want to have your plans and targets around innovations that you can have in the company. You may want to have targets around how much people can ideate and give you ideas on what next or what else can be given to your customer segment. Of all you know, you may even diversify. So what is the next big thing that you're going to do is where your targets and your planning needs to be. चौथा जो bucket है, which is weak strategy, weak operations. Assuming अगर ये चीज़ें हैं, then it is extremely important. ये time bomb है, ये कभी भी फट सकता है. That purely means that you've been lucky all this while to be in the business, get customers, because your strategy, you don't know where it's going. Operations भी weak है, वहाँ पे भी पंगे हो रहे हैं. It's very important that you start and correct your strategy first. If you correct your strategy, then design operations to make sure that your strategy goes right. Strategy eats operations for breakfast. So that's where you want to start. Now, if you want to do that, you actually don't set targets that time. You come back and you sit on the drawing board again and rethink your business all over again, which is actually business planning, which is the series that we are talking about right now. The business modeling, which is your customer segment, what is your offer, how are you going to reach them, all of that. So you may want to go back to the drawing board if you are in the fourth bucket. So do go and think of this and figure out which buckets you are in, and whatever buckets you are in, that is where you need to go about plan, and you go about planning and therefore executing throughout the year so that the situation changes. I hope this helps. Keep propelling, and yes, do not forget to like and subscribe. Keep propelling. Best of luck.